Should you invest in Roth or traditional? You may have heard when you're young you should use Roth, but it's more complicated than that, and it depends on your tax bracket now versus the future, which is inherently really hard to predict, and there's a lot of unknown factors there. But there's still some guidelines you can use to make that decision. First, a little recap on how it works. So Roth is called after tax. So that means you put your money in after you've already paid taxes on it. It goes into it. You don't get any kind of tax break. But then it's really great because it grows tax-free for life, and you pull that money out tax-free in retirement. So whatever money you put in it, and then it just grows and you pull it out. Traditional is the opposite of that. So it's called pre-tax. So that means the money goes in before taxes. You get a tax break on that money that you put in now. It grows tax-free. However, when you pull it out, you have to pay taxes on that money. So all you're doing when you're making this decision is deciding, do I pay taxes now or do I pay taxes in the future? That's really what the decision comes down to. So if your tax rate is the same now as it is in retirement, it's basically a wash. Now there's some other things to consider, and there's some advantages with Roth in that case, but it's basically a wash. Now, for a lot of young people, maybe you're single or newly married and you have two income earners, and maybe your income is higher and you're in a higher tax bracket now. In that case, a lot of times it makes more sense to do traditional because in retirement, your tax bracket is generally lower. There's some tax breaks you get when you're in retirement and when you're older, and there's a lot of things that help your tax situation be lower. You're not saving for retirement because you're in retirement. So there's several things that happen. So Social Security is taxed less as well. So you have a lower tax bracket almost always in retirement than you do while you're working. So even if you're young, if your income is really high, a lot of times it's better to go traditional. So if you have that Roth 401k option versus the traditional option, which a lot more plans are installing now, you really want to make this decision. But there's a lot of things that go into this. So you probably want to have a professional look at your situation and give their opinion to help you make the decision.